I guess I spoke about it briefly on the class on Saturday.
Oh yeah, yeah, yeah.
And more in that regard to some extent. I really just continued that same meditation just for the first time yesterday. I tried the new one of visualizing someone you like and dislike.
How was
Um,
that?
it was interesting. It
Mhm.
didn't no no really like amazing realizations came out of it, but just some compassion and empathy.
Yeah.
And it's funny I picked two people that like kind of look the same,
Oh, that is funny.
which is fun.
Cool. Yeah, I'm glad you said that. Because a lot of these meditations, you'll do them 100 times and it's just like kind of medium, but it's like sand and wind slowly etching away a stone. And then one day the stone will break. And you're like, whoa. And sometimes that's the first experience you have is the stone breaking. And then when you go back to like be like, "Oh, ready to break some stones, it's just like, and you're like, oh. But don't lose heart. And also don't like attach yourself to that outcome. Also,
Hmm.
that was one of my early mistakes, is that I thought I was failing if I wasn't like having the most profound realizations every time I tried to sit down. Cool. Thanks for sharing, Paul. Jake, how you doing, man?
Yeah, I definitely think that I do a nice job embodying that sentiment. Like, I don't have much expectation over what's going to come to me. And for me, like, the act of sitting has kind of been my metric of success. I really appreciated the classes that we've been having because they just help to recontextualize the same practice that I'm honestly fairly content to show up and do for a while because it's really freaking hard. Um, I I mean, I was messaging you earlier in the week. Like, definitely a really big moment of transition for me. Like, a lot that feels like it's moving actively. They say
Hmm.
like outside of a really cute baby, like the reasons that you don't sleep in life are like beginning relationship, end of relationship, the beginning of a new job, the end of a job, or a move. And it's like I'm kind of going through three of them at least at once.
Yeah.
And so it's just like definitely definitely like feels a lot, but still continuing to show up for myself in that practice early in the morning, and I've been having fun with it. I played around with the recording that you did, Bob. I like have done it partially on my own as well. Have a few ideas. Like, I think in this upcoming week, I have an amazing meditation app. If anybody ever wants it, it's a gong. All it is, it's exactly what I was looking for so long, but I couldn't find it online for some reason. But all it is a gong. But it has a little interval gong that you can set too.
Nice.
Um, and I've been doing like an equally.
Oh, Paul, did you lose audio?
Yeah, we lost you, Jake.
Yeah.
I'm back. I'm back.
Hey.
Oh no.
Kind
Yeah,
of
I
back.
hear you. I hear you. You're just
Yeah.
on a different mic. You're on your laptop mic instead of your
Yeah.
headphones.
I'm coming all the way back around now. But
Interval gone. Gone
yeah,
interval.
which has been amazing. And now I think I'm at a point try cutting out
No,
different
no, you just
manufacturers.
jump back, but I pumped the volume. And anyway, just keep going.
Sorry.
No, it's all good.
Um, yeah, I want to try like going no interval gong and just progressing through it and then sitting at uh asking for teaching for however long and then coming out of it at the end.
Nice.
So I think I'm entering a phase where I kind of want to play around with that, like self pace a little bit more.
Yeah, that's great. Cool. Mazel. Becky, I know you're busy at this time in the morning, opening the space. Feel free to just chime in if you'd like to, but I'm gonna try to squeeze in a little 15-minute for my buddy Paul here before he needs to go because we didn't meditate last time, or I can't remember. So
Right.
I resolved to do it first. So, so let's just do a little meditation, guys. Um, Today's class is gonna be we're gonna start going through the seven limbs, limb by limb. So Paul, if you want to catch the recordings on it, you can later. Um, But let me decide what I'd like to do for those who have showed up today. Yeah, okay. Let's do this. Let's rip let's rip through the preliminaries and then do a little bit of concentration training. I think that that could be useful. Um, and then Jake, if we get through the rest of the content, then we'll focus on prostration next time. Okay, let's do it. So, step one, tidy your area. I got this little battery. I'm gonna put that just, I'm not even gonna put it away. I'm just gonna make it square with other things on my desk. Isn't that incredible how you
Probably.
just like make things square and it's like all of a sudden it's like nicer?
Yeah. What's weird, I woke up this morning and but didn't do anything, like didn't meditate because we were gonna have our time together today. But I still cleaned the area.
Oh, good.
I was like, I
Nice.
don't totally understand what's happening here.
Okay, cool. Good. Make offerings, either physically or spiritually. All right, and then we're gonna sit down. We're going to arrive in the present moment. Eight-pointed posture, legs, spine, shoulders, head, teeth, tongue, breath, eyes. Park the body. We got work to do. Say, I love you, but I'll see you later. 10 breaths. Actually, let's do five. Starting with the out breath as one. Relax all the muscles in your face. Take refuge. There's so much suffering. I choose to break the habits which continue the spinning cycles of suffering. And instead, I go to places where I will actually find shelter from suffering. The Buddha, the Dharma, and the Sangha. I'm resolved to become the best version of me for the sake of all beings. Bodhicitta. My life embody that wish in every single way. And now I visualize the garden. and I prostrate, thinking about the good qualities of my teacher. And I make an offering. I choose to diminish the negative karma in my life by confessing. It is an exercise of intelligent regret, not an exercise of shame and guilt. In the last 24 hours, I did X. My bad. I won't do that anymore. I'll do the opposite, which is, and now I'll rejoice, amplifying the good by thinking about the causes of joy and liberation that I created. May those causes become results quickly and powerfully for the sake of all beings. Urging, may I receive teachings until there's nothing left to learn. Now we're going to do shamatha training, training single point and concentration. And we're going to choose an object. We're going to choose the object of the sensation of breath. Our goal here is to allow our intention to master our excuse me. Our goal here is to train the intention to be the master of our attention. That we could choose to put our concentration on any object and be able to keep it there with powerful concentration. So identify a sensation of breath in the nostrils. And now set the intention to keep your attention on that object. Imagine that the mind was like a movie reel, which is just a series of single images in rapid succession. Single point of concentration is when the image is repeated without break. So you do not lose the attention to distraction. So every moment of consciousness is breath. If your mind is wandering, wake up and use a hook to grab the rope and pull it back. Feel good that you woke up and set your intention to keep your attention on the object. Now, we're going to be training attention versus peripheral awareness. So imagine the mind becomes like a laser, totally focused on the sensation of breath, excluding everything else. And now we shift to peripheral awareness. Relax the focus and try to perceive everything. Everything around you, all of your sensations, all of your smells, all of the sounds. Expansiveness. And Paul, we will end on time. Dial back in on the laser. Now go back to the floodlight, the conscious awareness, which covers a broad area. Peripheral awareness. Okay. And you can come out of the meditation when you're ready. All day long, we need to balance between our peripheral awareness so we don't get hit by cars as we cross the road and our laser-like focus of our intention at hand. So it's really useful to learn how to transition between the two intentionally. Have a great day, Paul. Peace. That was a fun little exercise.
It was great.
Yeah, I figured you'd like that, Jake.
You know me well.
I do. You and LJ are such totally different meditators. It's really fun.
Really?
Yeah, because uh yeah, anyway. It's cool that
I
there's a lot of
wanna
variability.
I wanna talk to him about that. Hey, we're gonna catch up, I think tomorrow morning.
Yeah, good. Yeah, so tell me about your experience. So like
Yeah,
I mean I didn't finish the the preliminaries, but that's okay. We'll do it
I
the
know.
next time we meditate.
Yeah, I was aware. Yeah, but I do love the exercise.
Yeah, flow lake spotlight. What's your reflection?
Remains difficult for sure. Like just the general act of these things, right? Like you'll listen to like you ever listen to David Lynch talk about TM?
Yeah, it's
You're
tricky.
like, yeah, you're like, I want to go to there. Um, but like humility in the fact that you probably can't force that.
Well, forcing it is the number one way to not
I understand.
experience it.
Yeah, no, I understand. Um, so yeah, I love playing with attention.
Yeah.
It's fascinating to me, and it's the easiest way that I understand how this can be for the sake of all people, beings.
hmm How do you draw that connection for me?
Um, I'm going to say two things, but I don't have attachment to either of them. And also, like, one is it is very tangible the impact that you have, the positive impact that you have on somebody by truly engaging in their world.
Mm, nice.
And you can only do that with sig- significant attention, like
Yeah.
a deliberate allocation of attention. Um, and then the other is, yeah, I find that it builds empathy.
Mm,
Um,
nice.
the the other thing is, it kind of makes you like when we're. I've had several times in the past like 6 months where like I'm trying to remember like what the other common version of this is, where like you're not once aware of it, you can't be unaware of it, but before
Mm,
you're aware, you don't
yeah.
realize. And it's like the physical changes that are coming through you and being able to catch yourself and realize your body's reaction, like gaining an awareness. I guess that would
Mm,
be a peripheral, an exercise in the periphery. Um, for it. But understanding like in a moment, oh, I'm reacting this way, I can bring myself back to where we are right now and then narrow focus on the actual situation at hand. I really like that.
nice. I dig that. Yeah, that's very meaningful.
Yeah,
Cool. Yeah, I love that. It's like it helps you be more intentional and responsive.
right. And this might have less to do with the tradition that we're learning in, but um, I've like one of my really favorite meditations to do is literally sit, like have either one single song or like a short progression and really listen
Mm,
um as like a form of maintaining attention. And like sometimes like it's like really listen to like an element of the song throughout, and if you feel yourself get pulled out of it, like bring yourself into the
nice.
percussive element or like what are
Yeah,
the keys doing or something like that.
that's awesome. Becky, I don't know if you're chatable, but does that remind you of anything we did on the Warrior Weekend? Weekend Warrior? Vitarka Vichara. Yeah, cool. Nice, Jake. I'm going to be talking a lot about that exact dynamic
Cool.
after the seventh limb prayer, after we're done going through the elements. Uh, so I dig that. Cool. Let's get into it today.
Yeah. And Bob, just
So,
like something that I want to call out that like I'm really appreciative of is like you shed new light on each of these things. So even though like I'm speaking to some level of past experience, like I know that you're talking in your head, you're like, this couldn't be more basic, like 101 level.
no, I
So
assure you it's not.
I'm okay for sure. I'm like, yeah, these are like I've never left one of these for a moment and not had a different frame of mind around what we're doing here, and I really appreciate that.
Ah, that's awesome, man. That's beautiful. Yes, very good. Also, something worth noting, which is really, really, really powerful when you this becomes like a trained skill set, is that if you can go, if something you hear in these classes helps you understand your past experiences, so much so that it changes the story you have about your past experience, that is a proof that memory is empty. I'll leave it there.
There's not much to say to that aside from acknowledgement and
It's super sick.
let your mind yeah, yeah allow mind to remain blown.
Yeah. All right, cool. So here we are in the process. Okay, I'm gonna be going really traditional today. So strap in. Um, I decided that I really wanted to be very explicit about our tradition. So here's the Tibetan. And for those who watch the recordings and have gone through the training of our teacher, this should be a very familiar sight. So we're going to be going through the first of the seven limbs, which is prostration. And I'm just going to be reading directly from the root text here. And then we'll just do a little bit of discussion. Prostration. The first ingredient is prostration. So the first of the seven limbs or seven ingredients. There is one kind of prostration that combines all three doors. So this is the translation of the Tibetan. And this is from the Lamrim Chenmo from Jetsun Kappa, who was born in 1357. There's one kind of prostration that combines all three doors of expression. This is a really important concept that I've alluded to in past classes. Jake, I don't know how much in these classes I've talked about this, but definitely in the Saturday classes. Um, the three doors of expression. I don't use that term, but now I will because I've now taught it. The three doors of expression, we're going to be going through that today. It's really, really critical because these are the ways that we experience reality and create realities through these three doors of expression. It is found in the verse from the King of all prayers, the prayer of the realized one, deeds of all goodness. This is Samantabhadra. Um, this is the where the seven limbs come from. So this is the root text of the Lamrim Chenmo, which is pulling from the root text, which is this prayer. So that includes the words whosoever they are, as many as there may be. And what's incredible about my teacher is that he goes and pulls the like it is assumed that you know what this is because this was for monks who memorize entire textbooks. I am not a monk. I do not memorize entire textbooks. So our teacher goes and gets the direct quote and helps us, which is so cool. So cool. It's so skilled. All right, so here it is. I bow down and purely in body, speech, and mind. Those are the three doors of expression, body, speech, and mind. The syllable om is three syllables. O, a, m. That's body, speech, and mind. To all those lions of living kind.
What does that mean?
Which part?
The
Om?
yeah, that three syllable connection that you just made there,
Uh,
or is that just a call out to the fact that it is three parted?
well, number one is that I don't think that there's very good education in pop culture of what Om is.
Yes,
It
I
is a
agree.
very beautiful thing, and you mostly see it on merch with no understanding of like what its significance is. So this was my attempt to try to tie together something very sacred to something that is popularly expressed. So, Om, my intention is not to teach that,
Okay.
but simply to draw the connection so that when you see
Okay.
Om next time, you're like, oh, yeah, yeah, I kind of heard about what that means. Okay. And then we're going to be investing into that framework slightly tangentially um, today. So, Om is the composition of three syllables into a single syllable. And if you think about the soft palate, like if you think about all vowel sounds, it's ah, oo, like ah is the furthest back, ah, the mouth is totally open, and then ooh is all the way at the lip. It's not even in the mouth anymore, where you make that vowel. And so, ow is every single possible sound that your mouth can make. Which is really cool. Like E and then I, like it's I, E, ooh. So that's like the resonance going from the back to the front. So it's like, anyway, the teachings are they're so expensive. It's really beautiful and meaningful. Um, so it's basically everything. Like Om also indicates birth, living, death, and then it also indicates waking state, sleeping state, dreaming state, sleepless state. Or sorry, dreamless sleep. There's just so many different fractals that come out of this extremely essential framework, including body, speech, and mind. So there's an association between the sounds and body, speech, and mind. Um, so,
10 directions of space is kind of trippy because of string theory.
yeah, nice. Yeah, it's the rabbit hole's so deep, dude. It's nuts. Okay. Um, so I bow down and purely, that's such a good teaching. Um, in body, speech, and mind, to all those lions of living kind, whosoever they are, as many as there may be, to those who are gone, gone in the past, in the present, or the future, on the let me get rid of this. Um, I gotta hide this panel because okay, good. In the past or present on any of the planets in the 10 directions of space. So so this is how we're supposed to prostrate. So here we're not talking of a Buddha on a certain planet in a certain direction of space. So when we're prostrating, the way that I teach it is not this because this is really involved. But if you were to take your time and have this be like a very slow, I wanted to give you $100 as we go into a dollar store, if that makes sense. So, however this hits, one of my favorite verbiage is whatever you can sink your teeth into, just bite
Hmm.
down. You know, you don't have to do the whole apple in one gulp.
Hmm.
Just wherever your mind can connect, because the point here is concentration. But I wanted to give you the big picture today. And we're going to be doing this for the whole thing, um, like for all seven limbs. So here's the translation of the commentary. I didn't put the Tibetan for that. So we're not talking about a Buddha, like a teacher in front of us in a certain direction of space in front of us, nor are we talking of a Buddha of a particular time. So we're outside of time and space here. Our prostrations, rather, hey, good to see you, Becky, are directed at each and every victorious Buddha, to all those lions of living kind. And if you've heard me teach about dancing with lions and the lion's dance, the same connotation of lions is here. Um, those who live in every one of the 10 directions of space itself. Really cool. Those who have already come before, those who are going to come in the future, and those who now are here. Um, when you see in the literature those who are gone, that is uh, that is the meaning of gone to total enlightenment, or have exited the cycles of suffering, or have crossed to the other side, paramita. So those who are gone means the Buddha. Okay. Don't do your prostrations just to go along with the crowd. Do them rather out of deep respect from the depths of your heart. So when you're doing it, there is absolutely no meaning in the act of prostration because it's empty. So what makes it powerful is your heart. And so how are you supposed to go? Purely. And this is the whole thing. If you don't get this, all the rest is just meaningless. You're wasting your time. You're just closer to death. Like that's how you spent your time. Congratulations. So go as purely as you can. And what that means, in essence, is your motivation should be as pure as possible. So whatever that means to you, apply it here. Um, what I would guide is bodhicitta. The reason I'm doing this is so that I may become the best version of me for the sake of all beings. And there's no self-motivation of, oh, look how holy I am by prostrating, right? Oh, I hope other people are seeing me prostrate. Or, oh, I hope that I gain favor from the Buddhas or something, as if that was even possible. As if Buddhas even existed, because they don't. Um, and so get into that pure aspect. And so we do that through how do we embody that purity? We do that in the three doors of expression. And that's what we're going to get into next. Um, and Jake, if you do have questions, I'm gonna ask to hold them to the end. I want to do the full presentation.
You know me well, man.
I do, and I anticipate. And anyway, by the way, I called
Oh,
you last night just to chop it up. But
yeah, I'm sorry I missed it. I saw that. I
yeah,
was
no worries.
making dinner for my family.
Oh, that's so awesome. Okay, cool. Three doors. So the first door is the body. So here's the prayer. And by the way, the prayer is meant to be what you recite in your mind as you do the seven limb prayer. But I have no expectations in this course that you memorize this. What I do expect is that you memorize this sentiment. You memorize the essence. But if you were to memorize the words, it would be a very effective guide to remember what we're trying to do here. So, by all the power of the prayer of the deeds of goodness, each and every victorious one is the one who has defeated the foe, which is another word for a Buddha, which is so freaking spiritual warrior vibes. Victorious one. And by the way, the forthcoming course on Introduction to Spiritual Warrior will talk about being victorious and defeating the meaningful foes. Really excited to share that with the world. Probably 2 weeks out, 3 weeks out. So each and every victorious one is actually here before my mind, and I bow myself to them perfectly, with bodies that are as many as the atoms of all the worlds of the universe. This is a heavy visualization. So, what does that mean? Here's the commentary. First, picture each and every victorious one, those of every place, and those of every time. So you're imagining this like incomprehensible thing. Um, and that's kind of the point, by the way. You're playing with the putty of your mind. Um, see them in your mind as if they were actually here before you. So this is like the garden, right? And then we're imagining now how to prostrate to that. So this is what we're prostrating to. Then send forth, and this is really powerful. Then send forth copies of yourself, bodies that are equal in number to the atoms of all the worlds of the universe, and bow down to them. Whoa. So, if you were to imagine this word perfectly, like there's a couple of really key words. Like the key word in this one, I would identify as purely, and here I would say perfectly. And so, if you were to literally try to apply what it means to perfectly bow down with your body, and you are now beyond the limited idea that your body is just the one that you can perceive easily now, then how would it mean to bow down perfectly? Is that you would create infinite bodies of you because that's the most powerful way to bow your body down, is to make your body as expansive and as multitudinous and as powerful as possible. To have a perfect body means that you are infinite in your capacity to create. So create an infinite amount of bodies, and then with that infinity, prostrate down to an infinite amount of Buddhas. So, so much of what we're trying to do here is break out of a limited mindset. Because so often we're stuck in this story of a limited reality. Whatever our limitations are, right? Oh, well, I can't do that. And it's like, well, maybe now, but like, imagine when you were 6 years old looking at you now and you said, oh, I can't do that. And you're like, well, hold on, just develop for a while and then you'll be able to do it. So, yeah, okay, I'm gonna keep going, or else, I could go on commentaries forever on this. So the first is the body, then is the mind. Atop a single atom are Buddhas, as many as all the atoms there are. So now what's happening is when we're talking about body, we're talking about expansive space. So Becky, if you remember when we went to the uh, when we started expanding our consciousness in the lion's dance to infinite awareness and infinite space, that's kind of closer to what we're doing with the body aspect. But with the mind aspect, what we're trying to do is concentrate down to a single point in an extremely powerful way. So, Jake, imagine you took the entire power of the sun and you were to concentrate that through a magnifying glass to a single point. How powerful would that be? That'd be unimaginably powerful. That's not even as powerful as your mind could be. So imagine every single atom of the universe and atop each one see Buddhas as many as all the atoms there are. So on one atom, you're imagining as many Buddhas as all the atoms there ever are atop one atom. So this is like a koan. It's like a paradox. It's like something that is like kind of inconceivable because what we're trying to do is we're pushing the limit of our mind's capacity to generate a powerful image. First by expanding out, and then now we're concentrating in. So atop a single atom are Buddhas as many as all the atoms there are. If you go and try to imagine that, it's really, really like the point isn't to see this. The point is to cultivate the mind. So if you go and try to do this, you should, I beg you to have the metacognitive capacity to check out what's happening to your mind, to the quality of your consciousness as you're going through this exercise. That we're just going to a gym. You know what I mean? That's what we're doing. Around them are their sons and daughters. So sons and daughters are of the Buddhas are called bodhisattvas. Like that's code for a bodhisattva. Someone who has committed their life to, becoming enlightened for the sake of all beings. I see every corner of space, each and every place filled like this with victors. So try to have a feeling where you sense you are in the presence of all their incredible good qualities. So you're just creating this like extremely potent image. First, we are emanating our body, and here we're expanding our mind. And then the thing that's not obvious here in the root text that is explicit in the commentary is incredible good qualities. So when we've been doing it in this class, I say think about their good qualities of your one teacher. So this is like this, but again, we're on like we're redlining the engine. You know, we're just taking that idea and making it as powerful as possible. In my experience, if I am if I'm having trouble doing this, it's very hard for my teeth to sink in for it to be a very powerful experience. But it's really interesting once in a while to try to do this. And then once you can really start to like do this, it's just like so formidable in its potency. But it might be too abstract for your mind to engage with in a way that's constructive immediately, which is why we started in the way that we have. Just take your one teacher, think about maybe a couple other teachers, as much of a cloud as you can, and not just think about their good qualities. So you can see how we're diluting this down into something that could potentially be a little more accessible. Um, but try this once in a while. Okay, speech. Last one. So these are the three doors of expression: body, mind, and speech. I sing the praises of all those who have gone to bliss. Gone to bliss is another word for a Buddha. I proclaim the high qualities of each and every victor, and my words of admiration. This is where, when I say all prostration is admiration, that's it. This is where it's coming from. Um, and my words of admiration are an ocean that will never dry, a sea of sound from the seed of harmony. Oh, beautiful poetry, guys. Goodness gracious. So speak now words of admiration, words that never end, for each of the holy beings before you in a song of lovely harmony. Do this the way it is described in the other books. Turn each head of your bodies. Now, this is super powerful. Again, we're taking a little bit of an acid trip at 8:50 a.m. on a Tuesday morning. Um, so imagine all of those bodies. Turn each head of your bodies into an infinite number of tongues and sing. What would that be like? Oh my gosh, that is a very powerful image. Here in the verse, the word harmony refers to the praises you sing, and their seed is what makes them come out. That is your tongue. The words sea and ocean express the idea of a multitude. So like there's sometimes when I feel so in love with my wife that I just wish I was a better singer so that I just want to sing to her. Like I feel like that's a pretty kind of automatic human experience of just wanting to like sing when you're really happy. So that's like the sentiment that we're trying to tap into. Is just like you just feel so good you can't help but singing. Ah, thanks, Jake. Yeah, I mean you better believe I sing anyway. Um, so Uh, it's just like, "Da, you're so awesome. Do, 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 do. Yeah." Like, um, when you have beautiful speech, then all of the speech that you hear is beautiful. I think that that's really cool. So the cause is, again, we're good practitioners, which means that we think in cause and effect. So what is the cause of this exercise? What is the result of this exercise? It's our body becoming something that could actually help people. What's this? What's the cause of this mind being prostrating? It's just our mind becoming pure. Like imagine that your mind never had bad thoughts anymore. That's nice. Like what if every single thought that you had was a beautiful thought? Instead of like, oh God, why did I think that? That was weird. And then imagine that every single word that you said was a word of pure love. And every single word that you heard was a word of pure love and truth. Like, what if in every single bird song you heard the voice of an angel? What if every time that your mom talked to you or your dad talked to you, you heard something that was like, of extraordinary, profound quality that just made you become full of bliss? Like, this is what you are generating when you are doing these. So not only is it a mental exercise where you're curating and developing your conscious power, but you're also creating and this is where this lineage I think is so darn functional because other people will develop their concentration on meaningless things. If we can develop our concentration in a way where we're planting seeds that are extraordinarily transformative, like that's a really great way to develop the mind and familiarize or habituate the mind on something that would generate a really beautiful experience of reality. Um, so we got 5 minutes. So we're not gonna do this. But hey, Bob meditated in the beginning of class today. That was worth it. So what I encourage you to do this week is kind of rip through the prelims and then just hang out a prostration and try this on for size. Just try it on for size. That's it. It might be really difficult. What you could do is just take the slides, they're on the learning platform, just pull them up on your phone, have your phone right in front of you. I have like a little like thing that I put in front of me as I meditate, and I can just kind of peek my eyes open and be like, what am I supposed to do? And then you can just swipe through these slides. Um, but try this out. It's really sweet. And then, and then as Jake said, hey, Bob, don't worry about your voice when you sing to your wife. Because I practice this, I'm imagining that I'm doing this when I sing to my wife, right? And then it's just like so nice. It's just so nice because I don't know, just like that's just kind of the best way. Like imagine that I could just do that, and then I can't, but to curate that vibe when I go to offer something sweet to somebody that I love, it's just so nice. It's just a good way to be. It's really difficult to be an asshole, you know, if you've just like tried to make this how you experience life. So, those are the three doors of expression, body, speech, and mind. And our goal is to make each one of those pure. So we have pure speech. Everything that we say is love, right? That's pure speech. Everything that we say is truth. Like nothing we say is a lie, and nothing that we say is with the intention of harm. And it actually doesn't harm because we've developed our skills. And then with mind, every single thought that we have is a beautiful thought. You know, it's the same feeling as watching a time lapse of a lotus bloom. You know, like that's what it is to watch your mind. Wow, you know, and then body, speech, and mind. Body, we talked about, oh, and then body. Imagine a pure body, one that could actually help people, you know. And so when I exercise, that's what my whole point is just to like have a body that could help people. That's it. You know, and so when I work out or when I do my asana or something like that, my yoga, or when I sit in meditation posture, the whole point is just to try to have a pure body, you know, one that I can transform into something that's actually useful to people instead of something that's just like a endless pit of resource consumption that smells bad and is gonna rot and die. You know, like I'm trying to do something different, guys. And then, you know, when you go to help somebody move or something like that, you know, you're like, man, I'm glad that I like got to work on this because look, now I can offer this and I'm prostrating to this beautiful person that I see as my brother, or to this beautiful person that I see as my father, or to this beautiful person that I see as this random stranger, or this beautiful person that I see as someone who punched me in the face. Like I have such incredible control over my body now because I have played with the plastic called body. I've put myself on every single atom across the universe. I've converted my head into a tongue, you know, which could sing praise. You know, it's just like the when I was playing baseball in high school, I was an outfielder, and my coach was a semi-pro, and he would hit the ball higher than you would literally ever see in game time. And you know, you'd sit there and you sit there and you sit there and you sit there and you sit there. You know, you start to second guess yourself. You're like, wait, am I in the right spot? You know, so you get all of a sudden you get in your head, and he goes, when you're in the last inning and it's the game ending out and it's coming right to you and Sam pops it up, you're gonna be familiar with this territory and it's gonna be easy. So that's what we're doing. And I think that one of the most beautiful ways to live is to humble ourselves to be with the meek, you know, and the poor, you know, and to bow to those people. Like I saw this great thing around Christmas time of someone's like, "Hey, I'm not Christian, but the idea of um bowing to a baby, like I think we should just all do that all the time anyway." And I was like, "That's profound." You know, like that's the future of our world. We should be like, you know, really paying attention and like doing our best to like humble ourselves to support those beings that are the future of our kind. And so if we practice prostration, it doesn't have to just be babies though. It's just that's an obvious thing. Like we should do that even to people who hurt us, um, because they are our path. So that's why we practice prostration. And it's a nice preliminary, but it's also an incredible way to spend an hour is to meditate on that. And that's the genius of these preliminaries is that you can do it in 1 minute and you can do it in 1 hour, and each is meaningful. So thank you so much for coming to class today. We're up on time. I know everyone's super busy. I'm happy to hang out for another 5 minutes for questions if you'd like to. But thank you so much. I love you guys. I bow to you. I'm serious. In my body, in my speech, in my mind. I love you. Cool.
I have a question, but I want to wait and see if Jake has questions first.
Why?
I don't know.
No, I feel like you
It's
should
a
go
gift to
first.
you.
No, I want to return your gift with the gift of you going first. I feel like I'm talking a lot.
Well, my question might be like a little off topic, but on topic. I don't know. I'll ask it and then Bob, you can decide if you want to wait or not. But
Sure.
first of all, thank you. That was super amazing. I did not
Mhm.
know, like, I just didn't know all this and I'm really happy to learn it.
Yay.
Um, I was just thinking, like, I feel like sometimes during classes, I'll notice on Zoom people doing like different variations, like
Mhm.
of what, like a, yeah, I don't
Yeah.
know. I guess I was wondering, like, what are you,
Yeah. I can tell you.
yeah, and also like, but why do they do that when it's not, I mean, can you just do that anytime during the day instead of in your mind going through the prayer? You could just like when someone says something, do it or,
Yeah. So, I think it's like the meme of Hulk Hogan being like, "Hell yeah, brother." It's like a Buddhist version of that. And so like that's or like, in a Baptist church they're like, "Praise Jesus." It's like the way that you're expressing that movement, I see a lot of people doing that when they feel like they're experiencing something divine,
Mhm.
is that they want to meet it with a pure body, pure speech, and a pure mind.
Mm,
So it's three. It's body, speech, and mind. Because in yoga, the mind is here. The mind is not here. You do this for body, and then speech is, out of your mouth, and then mind. So I think that there's a lot of different intentions you can have. Number one is that I am in union with the pure body, speech, and mind. I see someone in a pure body teaching me. And so it's like, may I be, when I may I join into yoga, may I join in yoga with that person. And then the words that they're saying, they're so pure. It's so beautiful. Like I hear love. And so I meet love with this like outward expression of meeting it. And then mind, so my mind is pure enough to experience a pure thing. Another thing is, may I be pure in my body, speech, and mind. So it's like you can have a lot of different. I mean, the teachings on pure body, speech, and mind are voluminous. They go on for you could teach about them kind of forever. So there's a lot of different things you can bring to that. But that's it. And then when you prostrate, that's why I prostrate my body, my speech, and my mind. So if you see like when you go into the temple, you do the three. Some people go, by the way, on the top of their head, or their forehead. So they'll prostrate in their body, their speech, and their mind because of everything we just talked about. And last thing I'll say is, if you were to see truth, you would give everything you had to be with truth. And so there's only three ways to be, according to Buddhism, and it's the three doors of expression. You be in your body, you be in your speech, which includes the narration in your mind, by the way, and then you be in your mind, which is consciousness. And so be with truth, you know, and by giving it all.
thank you so much.
Yeah, thanks for
I
asking.
love that.
Yeah. Jake.
Thanks for this, Bob.
Mhm.
Um, just I guess well, one really quick question, and then uh, one confirmation. The question would be, would you be willing to record, similar to what you did the other day, meditation that's guided on prostration and the materials that we just covered? One that would help like the early stages of our visualization.
Sure.
That'd
Um,
be really neat. And
I can't guarantee that it'll be less than 20 minutes.
heh,
But I'll
um,
do my best.
okay, for sure. Yeah, whatever you can do, if possible, to constrain it.
Yeah,
um,
what's your ideal length, Jake?
my ideal length would be 10 to 15 minutes.
Okay, okay.
Um, but
Sure. Yeah, I'll do that.
yeah,
I can do
um,
that.
yeah, I guess just confirming an understanding of sentiment would be approaching the act of being purely, in our
Mhm.
case, like rooted in the ethic of perfecting ourselves for the sake of all others. Um,
There's a second aspect to that,
mhm.
which is understanding wisdom, emptiness. So like refuge and bodhicitta go together like two wings of a bird. And so it's like the ethic and the understanding that makes the ethic even anything functional.
And the understanding is part of approaching it purely.
Yeah, yeah, because pure
Cool.
view is the view which understands things perfectly, which is, you understand the nature of reality. That is the pure reality is a reality which is perceived with no misunderstanding, which is to say that you see the illusion and you see the emptiness of the illusion simultaneously.
Cool. Um, then when we talk about then these three approaches, the body thinking about it perfectly as being everything,
Mhm.
splitting yourself out to everything, thinking of the mind as the focusing on the singular focusing on the immense positive qualities available, and then speech as the joint articulation of those qualities by everything.
Speech would be like, yeah. And so I guess yeah, it is joint in the way that it is the body working in concert with the mind. That's kind of a beautiful way of thinking of it. But it doesn't have to be, speech doesn't have to include the body.
Okay.
Speech is language, right? So whether it's thought or whether it's spoken are equally speech.
Uh-huh. Yeah, that I hear you on as well. I think it's an interesting sentiment. Like the act of being awake can be of the mind, but ultimately, like if we're commenting on it, it's like an act of speech.
Yeah, exactly. Like what's the language in my head?
Cool. Okay. This is I think I got what I need
Yeah. And
to go forth.
yeah, and it's so personal. All of this
Yeah.
is so personal that you like the way to really honor the practice would be to figure out what it's like for you to try these things out. And then the way to measure whether it works or not is you have powerful conscious clarity and it's opening your heart.
Mhm. Mhm.
If it's not doing those two things, then adjust.
Thank you, man.
Yeah, have fun with it. It's really, 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 really like the seeds. I can't even tell you how powerful these seeds are. It's
Yeah.
unbelievably you'll begin to see your world change. Anyway, cool. Thank you so much for class today. I'm gonna enjoy this challenge. I don't know how quickly I'll be able to do it, but I am resolved to do it.
Okay. Yeah, there's never a rush. It's like
Cool.
thank you. Thank you, thank you.
Yeah. All right, guys. Have a great rest of your day.
You too, Bob.
Peace.
Yeah.